Okay, so next we have I/O systems.
So some key terms in I/O systems are hot swappable, LCD, and CRT. So hot swappable means that the device can be plugged in while the computer is turned on, and it is not a safety hazard to the user. An LCD, or liquid crystal display, is a type of technology that is used to display text. A CRT, or cathode ray tube, is a previous version to LCDs. So SATA, serial ATA, as you saw earlier, is a bus interface to connect mass storage devices together. This can be anywhere from hard disks to optical drives to solid state drives. It was announced in 2000 as a replacement for PATA, or PATA, as as SATA reduced the cable connector size from to 7 from 40 to 80. And SATA was much, much faster. And the biggest advantage SATA had was that it was hot swappable. Again, meaning that it can be plugged in while the computer is turned on. Peripheral Component Interconnect Express, or PCIe. PCIe was announced as a replacement for PCI, peripheral component interconnections, created in 2003. It used a serial bus, which replaced parallel bus. It's a current standard for motherboard interfacing with personal computers as graphics cards, hard drives, SSDs, Wi-Fi connectors, and many, many more. It had many, many more improvements over PCI. One, that it was faster, it had a lower pin count, it had a smaller footprint, which means that its relative size was smaller. It had better error connection correction, and like SATA, this was hot swappable. Universal Serial Bus, or USB. As you probably know, because you can see from the devices, USB was a game changer. Released in 1996, it became an immediate standard for connecting computers with peripheral devices. It was designed to replace serial and parallel ports and a multitude of special connectors, because at the time, each company had their own connector, and other computer manufacturing companies couldn't put that many interfaces on a single computer. So USB came to standardize cables and connectors once and for all. It The features of USB are that it was hot swappable. It can be used on any computer because of its standardization, and it was proven to be able to power small devices like your phones or other small household items. So that avoided the use of a separate power cable.
Here are examples of some output devices. These are some of the most input or output devices. First, we have types of displays. So there are different types of displays, such as touchscreens, computer monitors, which use LCD, CRT, which currently do not, and CRT, which currently do not exist anymore. Next, we have specs. In the specs, we have the size in diagonal inches, and we have resolution by X by Y pixels, and For example, we have 1920 pixels by 1200 pixels, and the aspect ratio 16:9. Then we have the refresh rate in hertz, the panel type, for example, IPS, the brightness, which is 250 CD per m squared, and the color, which is how many, or color space. Next, we have input devices. There are many input devices, which some are keyboard and mice. Then we have speech input, touch input, and many, many more. There are so many devices. Can you name a few? Some of them include as we said here, a keyboard or a mouse. Then we have a microphone or a sensor for a touch, which could be your touchpad, and there are many more input devices.